Right, I think I'm live. Hi, everybody. Pretty sure I am. Hi, Emily. Yeah, we're going to be doing something a bit different today. I need to chill. I need to relax. And I need to do something that really isn't intense. So we're going to do, let me move my mouse out of the way. We're going to do this little beauty. And what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for a few other people to come on is just quickly do my share outs into the group. Whoops. I sent it too quick, sent it twice. How are you, Emily? Right, okay. Computer's been really slow today. Like, really slow. I'm wondering if it's actually, it is. It's in time machine mode. Let's turn that off. That might help. So today I was going to use mainly the Illustrator markers, but I think I'm actually going to bring a couple of other products in as well. They're all Spectrum Noir still, but I'm going to bring in the Tri-Blends and I'm going to bring in the original markers as well. So I'm going to use my fine liners as well. I think I've got every size. I keep doing drawing on my sofa. And then I keep going, oh, I'll leave them out here. And then I completely forget to pick them up and bring them in. I think that's a 3. So yeah, the fine liners or the art liners, the illustrators, the tri-blends and the original markers. Now, although this is a live feed, it's not necessarily a tutorial because the designs that I'm going to be doing are completely my own. So you're welcome to use the techniques that we see or I use. I can't talk today. It's just been one of them weeks. One of them 2 weeks actually. So you're welcome to use the techniques that you see today. All I ask is that you work on something that of course is your own concept. So I'm pretty much developing at the moment. I told you, as soon as I start live, my nose starts itching. I'm developing a set of characters because whilst I love doing my realism, I want to be able to do something more loose and things that I can just do on the sofa. And taking 50 pencils to the sofa, it's just not doable every time you want to go and chill out. So yeah, I thought that I would start on these characters. Right, I'm losing my menu now. Here we are. Hi, Joanne. So these characters are something I've wanted to do for a really long time, but I've been trying to find my style and I haven't found it. Well, I did yesterday actually. And I've been really struggling to find it or what I've enjoyed doing. So yeah, finally discovered it yesterday. Really enjoyed the outcome. So I'm going to develop them further. So basically, I haven't had any notification my end. Suggestions, streams, current bitrate, recommended bitrate of full. It's moaning at my bitrate. Hang on, let me change it. It's always moaning at my bitrate, which I don't see why. Okay, let's change it to 4,500. Okay. See how you get on with that. I've just changed the bitrate. I don't know. It should be fine. Excellent connection. So we should be okay now. Fingers crossed. So essentially they're going to be a set of characters. I might do some male ones, but at the moment I seem to have concentrated mainly on female. But it all started with this lady, and it was very much inspired by a game that my kid plays. So I practiced how to do the head shapes and things like that. And I did particularly like the outfit she had on. So I'm going to change these up a little bit. But primarily we're going to have one girl who, each one's going to have a pet. So I've changed this one slightly. I think she's going to have a cat or a bear. But I'm just practicing. The buffering should finish now. It says it's an excellent connection, so there shouldn't be any buffering issues. And I've just practiced a couple of poses and things like that. But I've changed who the octopus is with now. So she's going to have a cat or a bear. Can't decide. We've got this little one who has this cute little owl. I need to give all these names at some point, so yeah, I don't know where I'm going with the names. And then we have this little lady who's going for a swim, and this is where she's got her little octopus in her bubble balloon, taking it for a walk. And just for my kiddo, I thought I'd do a flamingo. Someone's drawn on it in blue pencil. It's got a nice blue pencil line across there, and I have no idea where that's come from. But today we are going to be concentrating on this little lady who has no name currently, who is in her unicorn onesie, ready to go to bed, cuddling her star friends with her star moon. And I'm going to redraw this out now on my Spectrum Noir marker pad. If you're not familiar with it, looks like this, 240 GSM. I'm not sure what that is in pound weight, probably 210 or something like that in pound, 9x12. But it's a really nice paper to use for alcohol markers. So I can't decide whether I'm going to draw her that way or that way. I've got a phrase that we're going to add. The good friends are like stars. You can't always see them, but they're always there. So I can't decide which way I want it up. So I'm just going to get sketching and sort of go from there, really. As I say, we're going to line it with the Spectrum Noir art liners. We're going to bring in the Illustrator markers. And Discovery of the Century, by the way. Blue light, blue light. Where is my blue light? I've literally just put stuff down. So where has it all disappeared to? Oh. Blue light's there. I had a piece of paper with my colour code on. Colour code. This colour here, which is from the old Spectrum range, so the black barrel, is BP5. Now, to look at it and to shine a torch on it, it does nothing. But it turns out, you're not going to be able to see it very well in this light. Let me turn that off. Turns out it's glow in the dark. Not glow in the dark, fluorescent. So it's actually one of the fluorescent ones. So I'm going to be using some fluorescent. So fingers crossed I'll be able to use it. If it keeps buffering, let me know, but I've changed the bitrate, so there shouldn't be so much of a problem now. Right, okay. What I might do is just draw her and then add the text later on in Photoshop or Illustrator. So I thought it might be good because I'll be able to show you one of the skin tones that we can do in the Tri-Blend range. Little yawn. Okay, so I attempted to draw a hoodie on her. Let me move the camera. Hi, Vicky. Let me zoom in a bit as well. So I'm going to do her hood now because I did all this sort of afterwards when I was thinking about the type of character I wanted her to be. I know this is very different to what you normally expect from me, but it's been an interesting couple of weeks, so I needed to do something far less stressful. Also, I thought because the onesie is probably going to be white, it would have been good as well because I can show you about just creating simple shadows on what would be a white subject. Dog, cat. Okay, so I don't know what the technical ear, it would be a horse's ear, I guess, but hi, Carol. I just wanted to do a cute ear, so whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not here to be anatomically correct today. The first part of the Spectrum Noir skin tones tutorial is now up, by the way. And I'll be posting over the course of 7 days, hopefully. And I'm going to cover pretty much all the materials that I actually own and how you can create skin tones with your own. Okay, I had her eyes open, but I might do it differently today. I might just do really simple kawaii eyes, just something like that. I don't know. Ears are a bit too far forward, I think. Okay, so I've got her sitting down, holding, I probably haven't left myself enough room at all, actually. Stupid woman. I'm wondering if I should get my light box out and just trace it for the sake of time purposes. But basically, I've left enough room for her leg, but not enough room for the cloud that she's sitting on. I don't even know if I can get it plugged in quickly. Well organised as usual, Bonnita. I knew I should have done it the other way around. Right, now I've got to try and find my plug really quickly while you're all sitting there going, what the hell is she doing? Which of course I'm not going to be able to do. Is that it? Nope. It's going really well so far. Let's see if I can pop it in. Oh God, think the world goes round on having drawers with tons of cables in it. If my camera goes dead, I apologise, because I'm about to suck more power from my USB hub. Right, that's working at least. I'm just going to trace it for the moment because I haven't got time to redraw, really, not without driving you all stir crazy. Is it still buffering? That's even if I'm going to be able to see it, which I can just about. Why do they always put the power supply right where your arm is going to be? I'm going to move her up so I've got room for the cloud. I'd like to have sketched it out a bit larger, but as I say, I appear to have not left myself any room. Her little happy star friends. I've got all the images underneath from the pictures behind showing through, which is doing me no favours. I'm going to attempt a dark sky behind her and try and get a bit of a glow effect, like a proper nighttime effect. Right, now I've got more room, I can make him look like a proper cloud that she's sleeping on and not just some weird pillow. I think that's pretty much all I need to get down, really. Let's just get the moon where the placement is. Dealt with. No buffering, that's good. Okay, I'll have to make sure I check the buffering before I go live next time, so apologies about that. So I don't want a full background because we'll be here forever, but I do want to have a bit of a night sky feel about it. So I'm going to be experimenting tonight as well with creating dark or blended dark skies. I don't know how you'd describe it. So we're just going to just make a shape. We'd be here forever otherwise if I did the whole thing. I think that's pretty much. We decided to go for a sleepy unicorn face, although it doesn't really look like a unicorn. Okay, so I'm going to line it. Hopefully, let's get it in focus. There we go. Pretty sure it's a number 3. Might even be a number 1. As I say, I've left it all completely unorganised as usual because that's what I do best. Right, I'm lining it now because when I come to colour it, it needs to have had time to dry. The art liners, if you've never used them before, are water and alcohol resistant. So they work really, really well with a variety of mediums. Forgot to put her neck in. There we go. I wondered why she looked a bit strange. So if you think of any names for her during the live feed, feel free. I don't know what that looks like. The ears look completely wrong, but I don't care today. A bit of loose onesie, and then we've got like a firm cuff. Now, if I'd practiced a bit more, I would have actually done this without doing any lining, but because I'm sort of in that, I'm just going to go with the flow mood. I'm just going to see what happens. Why is this hand so much bigger than the other hand? I haven't actually noticed that till now. Oops. Okay, so that's her little foot, which is hidden a little bit by a bit of the fluffy cloud pillow. Then we've got, again, loose pyjamas and a cuff. And just a fluffy cloud. The cloud we are primarily going to keep white. I'm going to add some shading with one of the tri-blends, because as I say, in my infinite wisdom, between putting the kids to bed and trying to get the camera ready and the office ready and everything else for the live feed, I tend to forget everything else I need, like the appropriate equipment and pens. Some little soft squidgy stars. Right. Holding my breath. Why am I holding my breath? There we go. Happy stars. Okay. Right, I'm just going to... What was the first thing there? It's had a bit of time to dry. Love this eraser for doing large areas like this. Okay, My star's gone a bit squiff there, but hey ho. I'm not going to argue. Probably going to bring my Sakura jelly roll in as well. So I'm a bit undecided whether I colour her onesie or whether I keep the onesie white and just have some shadow. What do you think? I'm going to start with the cloud because the cloud I know I want to keep pretty basic. So I'm going to use the lilac, I think. Yep. And the glow in the dark pink. I'm not going to draw any lines on this, and I will add white later on. It is the Sakura foam. Hang on. Hi Erica. Sakura foam. It's just a really, really good eraser for doing large surface areas. Otherwise, you know me, I'll have my Tombow Mono. Right, so let's get some blending going. Now the old ones have chisel, so what we're going to end up having to do is blend the brush with the bullet. Let me zoom you in. I love the way it just goes really dark as soon as you zoom in. I've gone out the lines there, oopsie daisy, naughty me. I love it when you get the half tones on images like this. So that's what I'm doing for his eyes. And we're just gonna have a little highlight on each one. Need a bit of drying, so we want a little my light's flickering. That is not good news. Okay, I think it was the pale mint I decided for the... Was it the pale mint? No, periwinkle. I think the periwinkle will do the job. I'm going to use the periwinkle for the shadow on the cloud. I tell you what I should have got. I should have got my blender pen. Told ya, completely disorganized. Just go with it. So just where she's sat in here. I just want, I'm pressing really lightly because I don't really want it that heavy. In fact, I might use the mint to blend it out a bit. Let me go and get another pale blue. Right, let me just grab my collection. I bought the eye scrape. I think I'm going to probably end up using, nope. That's the one I did use. Maybe it will be then. You've got to try all these things. I thought I bought two greys, but clearly I didn't. So I'm going to use it's the pale mint. I still didn't get a blender pen, did I? Shoot me. Seriously. So what colour are we doing her onesie? Are we keeping it white? Just going to saturate the paper a little bit, and eventually it will just start to seep and just soften those edges out a bit more. So if you then want to just strengthen, totally lost the plot actually of what colour I use now. Periwinkle, was it? I think it was periwinkle. Where's my periwinkle gone? I can then just go in at the deepest point and just make those shadows stronger. Just give them a bit more depth. Okay, so the moon, I was either going to have blue or bright pink, because what I want it to do is where the moon reflects, I want to have a line of colour down the side of her pyjamas. So I'll let you decide. Between the blue or the pink. I love combining the colours because you don't just get a simple standard colour, then you get a really nice dynamic range. There's only so much you can saturate your paper. So once you see your colour not changing or not getting any darker, you know that you've put as much down of the marker as you possibly can. You're not going to be able to get any more down. So there's your fluffy cloud pillow with his bright pink eyes, which I'm loving. See if I can neaten up the lines. Oh, do you know what he's missing? He's missing his little cheeks. I might do that in the lilac, I think it is. I tried to limit my colour range today. I didn't want to have too much. Just blending it out again with the blender pen, and it just softens it right down. In fact, I might even soften the eyes down a bit. There we go. Cute. Right, while you're deciding, I am going to colour these two fluorescent yellow, because fluorescent yellow is just the best colour ever. And I haven't found a fluorescent yet in the Illustrator markers, so I'm going to my trusty original black markers. Hi Tony. So I'm just gonna, I don't want it to be a flat colour, so I will go in and add a bit of dimension to her. I'll move on to the skin tone next while you lot are deciding. So, I love that colour. Right. You'll probably, a little glow in the dark stars. Oh, I love neon. It just puts a smile on my face every time. Every time, guaranteed. Vintage pink or actually, let's go for. Now I need you to decide actually before I do anything like that. Yeah, let's crack on with the skin tone. So the skin tone, I'm using the Tri-Blend markers, and I'm using lavender and fair skin blend. The lavender will be for the shadows and the fair skin blend will be for the rest of her face. So we're going to cover the whole thing in light because it helps saturate the paper first. We are then going to grab our medium, and I want her to have a little nose, but I don't want it to be lined, so I'm just going to use the medium to make her nose. And then I'm going to go straight in. In fact, let's go straight in with the lavender. So the darkest shadow will be at the back of her hair here. And then we're going to have, so if the light's coming from that direction, this will be the darker side. So you then go in with the dark. I'm going to leave the shadow line there because it's reflecting under, or reflecting, it's under her hair, so we want to keep that as is. We want a little bit round here, and we need it all under that hairline. And for the sake of sanity, I'm just going to leave it as a line. So as soon as I've done the dark, I'm going to swap over to the light. So I don't want too much of the mid-tone in there. Very quiet today. might actually bring that, I'll use the mid rather than the dark underneath her neck here. And then blend that out with the dark. You see, it just helps create that depth. It's because I'm not doing realism, you see. I'm doing something people don't expect. And that puts people off sometimes, I think. And possibly the title of the live stream, which can also put people off. But it's been a really, 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 I'm going to mind my language, horrible 2 weeks. And this is my zen. This is my zoning out. This is my me time. And I love it. Put a little bit dark on her cheek. Okay, right, she needs a little pink tongue. And then we need that ginormous cavity, which is her mouth. I don't think I bought any black. And I don't think I possibly want black, actually. Let me try. It's probably going to look black down the camera, but it's not. It's purple. It's the Illustrator Artliner brush pen, which is amazing. Yeah, that'll do. In fact, let's use it to really get some shadow definition. Just block out that black bit, back bit as well. Make them stronger. So has anyone decided what colour we're having the moon yet? Be honest, I'm quite tempted to have it in blue. I think pink might be too much. Right, we're going to be a bit darker under here. Darker this side. In fact, all of that's going to be dark because it's going to be where her hand is. And again, under there, you're going to have a shadow because that's where his arm is crossing over. You can't have purple. There's my colour range. I suppose you could have purple, actually. Purpley, pinky blue. Yeah, I suppose you could. Right, might need to go in with the darker. You are not going out, young lady. I'm just going to, oops, blend that out. By the way, if this ever happens to you, it's not a faulty product. It is purely because your lids are so well stuck on at the moment, they're not used to being used. So just do a slight twist as you take them off, and then you'll find that they come off a bit easier. So the more you use them, the easier they go on and off. Or you can even add just a little bit of polish, or I don't know, polish is actually the easiest thing. Yeah, so it's not a faulty product. It can be annoying, but the more they get used, the less they do it. But we need to do Mr. Jolly Hanging Star here as well, don't we? A rainbow moon. I think I'd need to do a bigger moon to be a rainbow moon, but that would be really nice. Okay, we have in our purples in the Illustrator range. I really should actually take the time to write these down. I haven't swatched my illustrators properly, or I have, but they're over there. Okay, so lilac, purple. If any of the Spectrum Noir people are watching this and they want numbers of the pencils, then I'm so used to saying pencils, and hydrangea. Okay, hydrangea I think is, it might not be actually. No, let's just do it. Purple moon it is. So I'm going straight in with the dark first, and then going in with my lightest, which will be the lilac. That way I've got some saturation on the paper down. And then we're going to go in with our mid, which is the hydrangea, and then we're going to go over and just draw some shadow areas. Now what we need underneath him, because you've got the glow of the star, is we need a yellow glow just underneath him. Let's colour these in. So when we come, you can't see that, but when we come to turn the light off, you can see that glow underneath. Let's have a drink. She's looking really, really cute. So what we need then is we need a purple glow on her outfit. And I think I'm going to use the lilac for that. In fact, let's grab my blender pen quickly. And just grab a little bit off the top. Just to give him a bit more shape. Okay, and we're going to have a mix of the yellow and the purple glow, but the yellow's the only one that's going to shine up. Let's use the other end. Let's use the bullet end. And let's have a little bit of a glow around the cloud as well on that side. we want? No, we don't want glow in the dark. I'm going to use my vintage pink because we don't really want glow in the dark inner ears. My light keeps flickering. It's very annoying. Let's get the brush in. Let's make this a bit more prominent. Need it on the top there as well, don't we? Okay, scary bit. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Do it. Okay. If you are ever struggling with markers, first thing you need to do is change the paper you're using, because more than likely it's an issue with the paper. If you're getting streaking, it's because you haven't gone over it enough times. Sometimes you cannot escape it whatsoever, like when you do join overs and things like that, but as a general rule, if as long as you keep going over it, it will it will blend. Don't go over it with the blending pen because you end up drawing out the colour. So I'm going to go back over it. And as we get a bit closer to the moon, we'll just lighten it up. I'm totally not being neat here at all. Swap that over and do this edging. I think people worry a bit too much when they're trying to do a large area. So the glow, the light glow, I'm probably going to have just in this area. So we'll just fill this section as well. It's a lot darker than my camera is making out. That's probably a little bit more real to it. So let's even try and get it a little bit darker in some areas, but we'll see. Depends how well the white stars show up. But I think for the sake of today, because of time, I won't sit here and go over and over and over and over, because it does take time. There's only so much saturation you can get down anyway. So we want to have like a rounded glow effect, so we'll do that. So you probably, I need to work out the next colour. Oh, didn't line the star. Sorry, Mr. Star. Reduces any feathering as well, if you do it this way. Oh, it's a satisfying noise. The sound of colouring in. Not neatly either. Right, let's just get up to that top bit and then we can start blending out. Into the lighter area. We want it to just really have a nice glow. Apologies. I've got his tippy toe. So like I said, if it wasn't for the fact I'm sitting here doing this on a live feed and it's such a large area, I would continue to go over and over and over again until all the brush strokes are gone, because they do disappear. As I say, once you have the maximum amount of saturation down, you don't see any pen marks at all. Sort of the nature of alcohol markers, really. A little bit dark around where she is. And make it a bit darker this side. And then I'll stop faffing and then we'll get on with the blending around that area. will do for now. I like the way he's almost got like a little natural glow around here. Okay, so that was the Caribbean. All my blues seemed... Oh, they're over here. Look. This is sky blue and it's very similar tone, same sort of family as the Caribbean. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to saturate. So get that area wet. You're then going to come back with your Caribbean, saturate. You can work in smaller areas if you prefer, and then you're just going to come over with your light again. It can help sometimes to work in smaller areas because it gives the alcohol less time to dry. So if we work in this section here, hopefully you can see how much smoother the blend transition is. So again, we come around and do this bit. And hopefully you've noticed there's not been a single smudge of liner pen, because their liner pens are just phenomenal. Hi Katie. I'm really enjoying doing this. I've been determined for a really long time now to just set up a set of characters of my own that I can just do these freer things with. Means I can get a lot more Spectrum Noir projects done as well, because I've got something that would work well. So you can, oops, oh, I made this thingy green. That's because I wasn't looking. I was looking at where I was about to go, not what I was actually doing. Hopefully that gives off a moon glow vibe. Got to do her unicorn horn yet, haven't I? That unicorn horn has to glow in the dark. I think that's working. I've never considered my abilities to be in children illustration, certainly not with pencil and pen, but I have done children illustration on the computer before. So I guess the whole design element is there. Okay, glow in, no, blue light horn, yellow or pink. Hi Doris. I haven't done a fringe yet. I don't know what colour hair to give her. I'm thinking as she's quite nighttime that she probably needs, I don't know, maybe even purple. Right, I'm just going to pop some shadow on her as I haven't done any yet. It's quite pale, so you probably find it hard to. Pink hair, yellow horn. Okay. Right, we need some darker shadow in there, so I'm going to bring out pale mint. That's probably going to still be too. That's no better. Right, let me grab the mid. Yeah, I've really enjoyed developing these characters, so I'm definitely going to draw a lot of them up, not necessarily over a live feed because I'm sure you'll probably get fed up with seeing them, but I'll certainly probably do some little time-lapse videos. But yeah, so this is, I think it's 4 characters so far. I think we're going to have to nickname her Dreams. What do you think? Dreams with a Z, just to be all punchy and cool. Hi Wendy. Right, it's going to use the dark. I don't know if that dark is going to be dark enough. Potentially is. As I say, it's showing a bit lighter in my camera. So what I'll do is when it's done, I'll take it into Photoshop and that's when I'll add the text. So I'm going to, was it lilac, wasn't it? No, hydrangea. Hydrangea was our lightest. No, hydrangea was the mid-tone. Lilac was the light. Yes. I'm going to just pop a little bit more and then I'm going to use my blender just to try and make it look like a bit more of a glow. So the blender can be used to take some of that saturation out. It can actually give it a little bit of a watercolour effect. It's just enough that it's glowy. Okay. Pink hair, yellow horn. Right, hang on, I'm really confused. Okay, so No, I'm actually using the Spectrum Noir alcohol marker pads, the proper pads that come with the markers. So they're 240 GSM, so it's really, really good thick paper, and it's nice crisp white as well. But it works really, really well. So I've done an awful lot of colouring, and actually the bleed is pretty good. Considering how many times I've been over this section. I just want to explain actually very quickly that there's a difference between bleed and feathering. A lot of people, when they colour, they'll turn around and say it's bleeding off my paper. But bleed is actually what you see through the paper, whereas it's feathering when it travels across the paper. So if you've got your line there, it's actually feathering across your paper. Now it will do that if you don't have proper marker paper. Now I have to say, I've used Bristol Board Smooth, I've used Strathmore Bristol Board, and I have to say, even now, that Spectrum Noir is one of the best marker papers I have used. I find them really, really good for this sort of work. Right, I'm going for a neon yellow horn. In fact, no, screw it. Let's do both. Come on. Let's just push the bout out. And she needs, I don't know whether this will work. Oh, it does. Okay. And then we're going to have a neon pink as well. So what do we reckon? Dreams with a Z? That's so freaking cute. Okay, her hair, I am thinking pink. But there's a lot of pink going on. But then we've got loads of complement. Do you know what? We don't have a lot of purple going on. Let's go purple. Let's go hydrangea. Let's add a little bit of a highlight effect, not much, but so cute. I'm just going to use the blender tool to blend those few strokes out. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see her fringe. How cute is that fringe? How cute is her face? Okay, so I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's turn. Oh, sorry, move the camera. Moving the camera again. Goodness sake, everything's so attached. Okay, lights off. You ready? It's so dark. Where's my torch? Glow in the dark stars. I keep saying glow in the dark and it's really not. It's neon. I wish you could see this in like real life because the camera just doesn't pick up. But it just has this beautiful glow. You see it on the side here and on the ear. Just picks up that little bit. We need some on that cloud. We need some on the cloud. And a little bit down here. Okay, one more check and then we'll there we go. So we've got it on her, we've got it on the side of the cloud, we've got it on the moon. That moon glows so cool. Oh man, I just love neon. What is that? I'm such an 80s child. It's unreal. So 80s. Okay, I have neon in several brands, but these are the Spectrum Noir, the Illustrator, the originals. So these were before they brought out the Illustrator range, the Tri-Blend range. I don't know why my lid is being such a pain in the arse today. But I just adore them. They do pink, orange and yellow, and I've just discovered that this one, even though it's not classed as a neon, which is this one here, is actually a neon colour. So can you see how the other colours don't change? But that, you can't see it because it just turns white. You can see the yellow at the bottom here. So, Stabilo, Spectrum Noir, which are my favourite for the neons. I did pick up this bad boy, which doesn't glow as much as I prefer, but it is a Liquitex paint marker, which is also neon. Oh, just neon's the best thing since sliced bread. I was going to use my jelly roll, but you know what? I think I'm going to swap to my Posca. And I guarantee you my Posca's not going to be where I need it to be right now. Because that would mean that I was far too efficient. And it's not. My Posca Black is... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's the crap one, isn't it? I have gold. Oh, actually, I bet it's not. Because that would just be the most awesomest thing ever. It's not. I'm quite tempted to do... Yeah, I want one of these open. I've got these pilot ones that my mum actually gave to me. And they're pilot paint pens, pilot paint markers, and these are glow in the dark. So I'm quite tempted to, and they're yellow, so they're not going to look silly. Against, and we're going to go over that because that's annoying where I've made his foot green. I'll have to Photoshop that. Now, believe it or not, I can do this with the alcohol markers, but you just don't see the colour. So I can have secret, if I show you. Yeah, I don't know where it's gone. I get so fed up with organising, reorganising, sorting out, re-sorting out. It just drives me absolutely potty. And when you've got 3 or 4 projects on the go. So if I go over the top, you're barely going to see it. In fact, it just turns them green. But it works just as well for the neon. I really love that colour combo. It actually works really well because of the teal. So when I come to, again, put the blue light on, you can now see all the stars. Okay, the only Posca pen I have a feeling is the one that leaks. Oh, come on, Bonnita. I'm sure this is the leaky one. It is, but we might get away with it. The only thing I found with the jelly roll, it's just not as opaque. It's just a bit too translucent for my liking. So I'm only going to do a few subtle stars. I'm not going to worry about them being really bright white because we've got the nice yellow in there as well. Should we have a shooting star? Just one little one in the background. This so needs glitter. Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't pick the glitter pen up. It's just drying a little bit too dull for my liking, so I'm just pushing a bit harder to get some of the colour down. As I say, this isn't my best Posca one. I don't know where it's gone, so it's obviously around somewhere where I've used it for another project. There, done. Oh, she's so cute. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Katie. I'm really pleased with her. So if you missed the beginning, as I say, I am developing a range of characters that each have their own pets. So stars. By the way, if you're in my group, Bonnita Doodles Art Share, I'm stepping away for a couple of days as I just need to. But admin are there to add you to the group if you want to join, because you're more than welcome to share your art pieces, and I'm happy to give advice and, well, whatever. But if you think of any characters that you maybe would like to see come to life, let me know. But this was Stars. So this was the original concept sketch of Stars, as we've now named her. I have one that I sort of drew for my daughter, which is this beach going lovely with a balloon, with a octopus in it, with a unicorn horn because you have to, and a flamingo wearing a swimming ring. So she needs a name. We also have, I might actually call this one Bon Bon, and for those that truly know me, know exactly why I would call this one Bon Bon. So actually, yeah, I'm going to call her that. Where's my pencil? Let's write it down before I forget. Not that I can forget my own name. So Bon Bon. So I need a name for the swimwear model there. So they each got their own pet. And then this one, which I'm probably going to go with a cat. So I don't know yet. So originally I had her with the octopus, and I tried some different poses and things like that, but yeah, she needs a name as well. But if you think of any characters, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to be working on a whole range, that's because not everybody wants to sit through a 4-hour session of realism, and I adore my Spectrum products, and I just want more of an excuse to use them. And what more of an excuse do I need than producing this beautiful cutie, which I absolutely adore. I'm really pleased with how she came out. Don't forget, if you're new to watching me now, or you're new to watching me later on because you're watching it later and not now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. A thumbs up is massively important to me, please, because YouTube loves the algorithms, and it means then that more people get to see what I'm doing. And I love you lovely lot, so I'd really appreciate it. And if you hit the notifications, you need to hit the all button, otherwise you don't get notified that often of when I go live. But thank you very much for joining me. Come and find me. Bubbles, love it. What, for the beach one? Yeah, come and find me in the group. Come on, let's have a little family gathering in there. And yeah, have a good morning, afternoon, whichever it may be for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye guys.